Here we have the 2002 Ratchet and Clank press kit CD-ROM, which included a fairly infamous flash game called The Odd Couple. So let's get straight into it. The thumbnail isn't some sort of weird clickbait. Captain Quark is definitely tied up in a cupboard with a ball gag in his mouth. But why? Well, let's not pretend Ratchet and Clank didn't have its moments. The game's titles were always playfully risque, with names such as Up Your Arsenal and Quest for Booty. Obviously not allowed in Europe for some reason, we just got lame names like Ratchet and Clank Locked and Loaded and Ratchet and Clank 3. Remember that time Captain Quark was tied up and groped by a sharp-looking mechanical groping machine whilst he screamed out in pain?
Oh, one more thing!
Well, that was horrible. Anyway, this Ratchet and Clank press kit was actually lost to the sands of time, but thanks to archivist SuperSmasherJak, it's been fully restored and put up on the Internet Archive for everyone to enjoy. They've also put in some work into restoring other long-forgotten Ratchet and Clank flash games, such as Race Through Time, which has almost fully been restored, and there was also a Size Matters flash game, which has been partially restored. Anyway, let's check out what's on this CD-ROM. If you might like to see some more content like this, consider subscribing. I talk about weird, obscure games and other interesting tech things like this. Almost the entire 7.9 billion population of Earth isn't subscribed to me. The main Flash program is essentially our menu to access the content of the CD-ROM. You'll have to excuse this really weird resolution. For some reason it's in portrait orientation, which makes it particularly annoying to present nicely. It's also absolutely tiny, so upscaling it to HD probably looks fairly poor. Strangely, I seem to remember this. I'm not sure whether it's the Mandela effect or if something very similar was used on the Ratchet and Clank website. But since the website was Flash-based, it doesn't look like we can actually have a look at that. Or can we? Actually, yes, because Flash emulators exist. The website does indeed use a very similar menu, but it's a bit broken and nothing seems to load, so we can't really take a look at anything else on the website. From the Flash application, we can read the story of Ratchet and Clank, and it isn't too far from what made it into the final game, except in this story, antagonist Chairman Drek is not from Planet Auxon, he's from Belch World. Yeah, it literally says Belch World. Glad they decided to change that one. We also have the wallpapers, including this absolutely dashing Captain Quark wallpaper. There's the screensavers, which don't work anymore, so let's pull up a virtual machine for these. The screensaver is a little shooting gallery, and you can shoot weapon or gadget icons to pull up some information about them. You can view the wireframe model, the full model, the concept art, or a video of the weapon. The video is so compressed it sounds like it's being played underwater. The whole thing is pretty slow and clunky, so I'm not really keen to go through everything. There's also the promise of some trump cards for the weapons, but this is through the website, which is now since inaccessible. The final thing we can take a look at is a wonderfully compressed version of the trailer.
An info box, Ratchet, we could use that.
But let's get into what we're really here for, the point and click game, The Odd Couple, made by Insomniac and Random Media. This isn't really much of a game, it's more a little interactive scene that allows you to click on things for, well, let's see what these scissors do. To be honest, I'm speechless. This is utterly ridiculous. Why would Ratchet want to snip Clank's antenna off in the first place? Why does Clank wear underpants underneath his robotic exterior? This is some absolutely ridiculous, absurd comedy even for Ratchet and Clank. If we click on the phone, Darth Vader calls Ratchet.
Hello?
What's most baffling about this is that Insomniac had to specifically get licensing rights to use Darth Vader to appear on screen for approximately 1 second. Okay, let's open the cupboard. Of course, we know what's in this cupboard already.
Better not let Ratchet see this one.
And then he's just shut back in the cupboard again. Well, we can swap out the cassette tapes, which allow us to play a different 4-second loop, and our heroes interact in different ways depending on what's playing. And the final thing to click is this fruit bowl, and we get a scene of Ratchet impersonating Robert De Niro.
Then who the hell else are you talking? You talking to me?
And well, that's about it. I'm happy this has been restored because I never would have believed it existed if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. It truly is something to behold.
Better not let Ratchet see this one.